Hey folks, it's Rob. Welcome back. Again, I want to thank you for watching these videos. I appreciate you taking the time to listen to me read this and what I have to say along the way. And I appreciate your patience. Uh, and if you feel like this was something you've appreciated, I do appreciate a like, or hey, you can subscribe. I can't promise you much. Maybe I'll maybe I'll be inspired to do more. Um, I don't know. I part of this is that I felt like um, I wasn't producing content at a standard that I could spend the time to do, and I had a girlfriend at the time, now my wife, um, full time job again, working for a new company, and yeah, things kind of went by the wayside. It was when I stopped recording, I didn't have the intention of hanging up the channel for a while, but it was summer, and basically the way my setup was is I had massive air conditioner sitting right next to my computer system. So I had the choice between basically baking in the Tucson desert or running the massively loud air conditioner. And I opted for the air conditioner basically the entire summer, got out of the habit of doing things, got more involved with my girlfriend, and basically things went by the wayside. And any of those of you who have subscribed from way back in the day, I know for a fact certain friends of mine have been subscribers since the channel practically started. Uh, I want to apologize for just kind of disappearing like that. But that's all by the by. It's not really what this video is supposed to be about, right? So, where we left off, I have all of 2 hit points after drinking the health potion, by the way. Uh, we won the goblin fight, but at what cost? My geez. Now, we did get loot for that. We got 100 silver pieces and 50 gold pieces, which, hey, together that's 60 gold pieces of value. And spoiler, but gold equals XP in this game. So, in fact, we did kind of go into that as we resolved the first section. And, we have some like 265 XP from doing the first little bit. Because we ended up with like 200 gold pieces worth of treasure. And that was the bulk of our XP. So, getting home will mean XP. For defeated monsters, we defeated 5 goblins and 3 giant rats so far, but also money. Our pocket money that we entered the dungeon with, because I'm not leaving platinum and a pearl and gold when it's, basically it was like what? 35 gold after I bought the new armor suit, 7 platinum pieces I still had, and I had the pearl. So I definitely would have brought that with me, because what, am I going to leave that back at the inn? Like, am I ever? Um, so I would have taken that with me, and that would have been doubled in the Magic Mouth room. In addition to that, I had the loot I got off the rats. Now that was only 100 copper pieces and 100 silver pieces. But, uh, you know, um, let's see. The pearl, 100 gold pieces. 7 platinum pieces worth 35 gold pieces. Another 35 in actual gold pieces. So that's 170. Plus the 100 silver pieces from the rats. That's worth another 10 gold pieces. That's 185. And 100 copper pieces worth 1 gold piece. So that's 186. Again, our 186 on top of that because it's doubled. In fact, I'm going to make a note of that right now because I just have this like ×2 on here. And like I had the other cash logged here on the character sheet, and I put it in ×2 next to it, but I'm like, no, Really shouldn't be on the character sheet. I'll just have to tabulate it. But yeah. So basically, I'm gonna just put like a plus 170 right here for purposes of our marking. And I'll leave the ×2 on that because that's straightforward enough. And this is treasure we got from the goblins. So I'm going to leave that for a later calculation. But, that's another 60 gold pieces right there. And all that's XP. Now, admittedly, I'm not going to level up. That's like 2,000 XP for this character. He's a fighter. If you were trying to do this with a thief, maybe you could get enough XP after all the monsters. I don't know. I doubt it. Maybe there's better treasure elsewhere. But what I've been trying to get to is that basically I think we're going to try to go back out the main entrance and go back to town. Rest up. And we'll come back to do more of this mission, right? Because I have 2 hit points. It strikes me as very prudent to not press on into the actual unknown territories. We know for a fact from the map, we're in this room right now. If we go this way, we're going to go back outside, basically. We can go right back outside. We don't have to go to Beware Town, and we don't have to find out what's around this corner here, where the other 3 goblins came from and attacked us. We know this area's been cleared. And if I was to need to, rest inside the dungeon, and I guess I could do that, but there's no rules for that. So we'll call it going back to town, right? But if I was to rest in a dungeon, this room is clean, actually, and has that magic mouth that prevents people from leaving if they don't answer the riddle, but we answer the riddle. So seems to be a fairly safe place inside this dungeon, and I would just pitch camp there if I was to, stay. And we do have rations, but I don't have a bedroll in my inventory as specified by the game, and I haven't bought one, and I don't know if it's on the purchasable equipment list at the moment. If I was running this as a game, I would definitely, allow you to go back to the village at this point, because really, what's there going to be here unless there's random encounters? Well, I guess there could be. So, what we'll do is, our options are west, north, and east. Now, north, east, and west, right? So west is the option, and we're going to do that. Read 36. You decide to go back to the start. Going west from here, the corridor runs south. You follow it back to the statue room. Read 58. From this room, you can go many ways. Do you want to go east, west, north, or south? Well, we're going south, which gives us option 2, which we haven't read yet anyway. You are back outside. If you want to go back inside, read number 1. If you want to quit, stop reading here. Your fighter goes back to town. I don't actually want to quit. If you killed any monsters or found any treasure, read 88 to find out how many experience points you have earned. If you want to go shopping for supplies, read 89. So let's call it going shopping for supplies. Let's look at that. 89. Okay. Oh, look at that. That's full of spoilers. I guess we're kind of manipulating the game at this moment because honestly, this isn't necessarily how it's supposed to go. Here's we died, right? And over here, oh, yeah, I've got a shopping list. Okay. I can buy wine. I can buy a lot of the things I already have. Yeah. Oh, I got a pole. The classic 10-foot long pole. The problem with carrying around a 10-foot long pole is you got to carry around a 10-foot long pole. The corridor is 10 feet wide. You need at least a collapsible 10-foot pole. Otherwise, how are you carrying a 10-foot pole? Don't be that person. Mirror, hand-sized steel. Great thing. Great for looking around corners. Also can be used to signal people from a distance silently. If you're a scout, you know a bunch of ways to use a mirror. Of course, not many scouts nowadays. Yeah, backpacks are. I mean, I'm not going to, I already have the plate armor, right? And the weapons are simply dagger or sword. No ranged weapons, for example. Uh, no, no blunt weapons like the mace that we demonstrated that Alina had. But what we do is, I'll read this here, and we'll rest up in town, and we'll return to 1, right? Okay. You want to go shopping. Instead of making an adventure out of it, like the beginning of this trip, you may simply imagine that you're visiting the various shops in town, buying whatever you need. The items you may buy, armor, weapons, and other equipment, are listed below along with their prices. To make a shopping trip, first write down the items you want and then their prices on a sheet of paper, a piece of scrap paper. Then add the total cost. If you can afford what you want, subtract the total cost from your treasure. Write the items on the normal item section in the back of the character sheet. Be sure to write the new total treasure in the money box. We'll just simply tell you what, let's buy 2 quarts of wine for 2 days of rest. We'll abstract that this is enough to get us back to health, because that's what we said a couple days before. So I'm going to put a little -2 next to my treasure here. -2 GP. Jeez. Who knows how much it costs to be at the tavern or inn or wherever the heck I'm staying. Maybe I was born here and I have a house. I don't know. So, we have already, read entry number 1 before. We're going to go down a corridor. So, 58. Now, this is a question. How do we proceed from here? Now, we have the Beware, right? We're literally in this room, okay? We have the Beware. We know there's goblins, but there's also, we don't know what's around this corner, right? I'm inclined to go this way because this is, again, I can handle some goblins. I can't handle too many at a time, as we just saw. 3 goblins is getting to be a real challenge. But we did deal with some goblins before, so let's go and have a look up that way. We'll head north. Read 10. If you've already killed the monsters and taken the treasure from this part of the dungeon, read 9. Okay. So we'll do that. You may go 1 of 3 ways. Do you want to go north, east, or back to the statue room? Well, we're going to go north. Yeah. Because east would be that long corridor leading back towards the mouth room and the rat room. So, let's see, that would be entry 21. If you have already explored this area, please read 52. Well, we have not, actually. If not, please then continue. Starting from the north wall of this room, the corridor goes 10 feet north, turns left, west, and goes 10 feet further, opening into the east wall of another room. There are more goblins here. Great. But when they see you, they shriek and run through a stout door in the north wall, slamming it behind them. The room looks like entry 21 map. Add it to your map. So entry 21 map, that's this one here. Let's sketch that on. There we go. So, yeah, okay. So it just continues straight across on the top. So 1, 2, 3, 4 is the room. And it comes down 3 like that. and over like that. And that's our symbol for a door when we put a box like that in the wall. So that's this room here. Okay. You search the room carefully and find one small bag by the door, apparently dropped by one of the goblins. The bag contains 10 silver pieces, 5 gold pieces, and a key. Well, it's nice to get loot. So we'll put that down here. Let's see, it was 10 silver pieces, 5 gold pieces, key. Right. I want to open that door. Dang it. 66. You try to open the door, but without success. Your key doesn't seem to work. You hear a goblin voice from the other side in common say, "Go away! We don't want any! You may keep trying if you wish." You may keep trying if you wish, but the goblins seem to have barred the door. You must eventually go back, so read 37. If you go back to the room where you first found the goblins, read 9. Well, no, you do go back. So, okay, back to 9. You may go one of 3 ways. Do you want to go north, east, or back to the statue room? Okay, well, I guess we've exhausted this option since we are prevented from going through this door. Do I go this way? It did say beware. I guess we could run away if we found something too nasty. Let's go back. So, back to the statue room. 36. You decide to go back to the start. Going west from here, the corridor turns south. You follow it back to the statue room. Read 58. And then, of course, we got the usual east, west, north, or south. This time we're going to go west. So 43. Into a new section of the dungeon. The corridor goes 20 feet to the west and opens into a room which looks like map and entry 43 map, which is this here. Right. So, okay, it goes over in our 10 feet, like that. Comes down 10 feet, goes up 10 feet like that. Comes over 30. Down 20. 10, 10, 10, 10. Strike that all the way across like that. All right. The room is empty except for a few small piles of reddish dust. Do you want to go back or continue? I mean, I know in my head what this is about, but I'm going to have to act like I don't. So, continue. Read number 45. You go into the room and look around. There is nothing here but the reddish dust. When you look closely at the dust, however, you realize it's rust. You hear a snort, and when you look up, you see a strange-looking creature coming into the room from the western corridor. It looks like a giant armadillo with a long tail and has 2 feathery feelers on the front. It charges at you. Do you want to talk to it, run away, or fight? Now, a nice illustration here. Thank you, Mr. Easley. We can see the rust monster. Yeah. Fighting or running away, probably the viable options. Talking to it is not smart. But this is how we deal with the fact that I know what's up, right? So let us, again, Do I want to evenly weight it, or do I want to more unevenly weight it? My character is not wise. Okay, so 1 to 2 is talk to it, 3 to 4 is run away, 5 and 6 is fight, as usual. Let's see how bloodthirsty the dice are this time. Oh, smart dice. We're fighting. All right, 86. You are fighting the Rust Monster, which you can see only needs a 13 to hit me. Its damage is rust. I need a 15 to hit it. It has 15 hit points. Use the checklist to make sure you're running the battle correctly. If the Rust Monster hits you, it does no damage at all. Instead, it makes metal turn to rust. As you run the battle, use the following notes to find the effects of each hit. If you decide to run away, monster gets 1 free attack, but only needs a hit roll of 9 or better. You can run away after that, but you can only run either east, back to the statue room, or west. If you run east, read 1. If you go west, read 28. If you kill the Rust Monster, read 70. If you have been here before, you might not have some of the items mentioned below. Resume the battle wherever you left off, and remember to keep track of the equipment you have left. So, on the first hit, your shield turns to rust and falls apart. The Rust Monster only needs an 11 or better to hit you at that point. Read special note below. Special note. When you lose your armor or shield, you become easier to hit. All monsters you encounter afterwards will gain bonuses to their hit rolls. If you lose your shield, give them a +1 bonus. If you lose your armor, give them a total bonus of +7 to their hit rolls. Note that the special bonus on your scrap of paper and apply to all battles until you get new armor or shield, which I guess is why you might want to go back to town and buy some armor. On the second hit, your armor turns to rust. Now the creature only needs a roll of 6 or better to hit. On the third hit, your sword turns to rust. You must get out your dagger if you want to continue to fight. And then on the fourth hit, your dagger turns to rust, and you have no more weapons, and you can read number 60. So, yeah, this is a dumb fight for me to be in, and I should not be here. I should make a run for my life. And so, we're going to give the Rust Monster a swing at us. Apparently at a 9 or better, in which case I'm going to lose my shield if it hits me, which will be another expense for this trip, but better than losing the armor and the sword and the dagger. I don't see a lot of chance of me killing the Rust Monster the way we're equipped. Now, if I was a savvy player who, had a full game going on and this was the only creature in the room, that monster's toast, because we can just go get some, like, a wood club and some leather armor, and I will just beat you don't even need the armor. It can't hurt you. It can only eat your metal items. If you show up with your tunic and a club, you can beat its head in. It'll take time. It's not easy to hit, but you can get there. Heck, bring all your magic user pals. Go, hey, here's your time to shine. Okay, 9 or better, the Rust Monster hits me and destroys my shield. 18, that's, yep. So, right now, all the monsters are going to get a +1 attack adjustment. No shield. And on my equipment list, I should probably strike the shield off. So, there's our note for the attack adjustment. And there's the strike of the shield. And, yeah, we're fleeing. So, apparently I can only go east or west, which is true. That's the only corridors we have to work with. So, we'll go, east goes back to the statue room, honestly, right? back to here, and that we've done all that. So let's go west and see if we can't turn up anything else from here. And then, yeah, maybe we can just evade past the rust monster again. I don't know. But okay, so if we go west, read 28. Let's see, here it is. The corridor only goes 10 feet west before connecting to another corridor leading north. The main corridor continues west into darkness. The north corridor goes 30 feet and opens into a room. Do you want to go north or continue west? So, it doesn't tell me to update the map, but we now know this corridor goes up like this. Right? So, let's leave it randomized. Again, 50-50. Let's see, where's my D6? There it is. So, 1 to 3, we'll go north. 4 to 6, we'll go west. We're going north. Okay, so that's 15. If you've already killed all the monsters in this part of the dungeon, read 61. Well, we have not. If not, continue. The corridor goes north and opens into a room. Area looks like entry 15 map. That's this one here. Let's get that on there. So, we got the corridor up to it, but we don't have the room. Room is 30 feet wide. 1, 2, 3, 4, 60 feet long. And there's a door here, which might be a way coming up behind the goblins. Who knows? Yeah, that looks right. Okay. So, as you peer into the room, you see 2 skeletons with rusty swords standing about 10 feet from you around the corner. Without making a sound, they step forward, grinning horribly, and swing at you. One of them hits for 2 points of damage. Read 26. Ow! Jeez. Right, so, gotta scribble, some damage on. Well, we did restore our health, so now it's going to be 6 points. Let's see. Read 26. Okay. You are facing 2 skeletons. Do you want to talk to them, turn them, run away, or fight? Well, we're not a cleric. We know we can't turn them. Skeletons are going to be a little harder than goblins. We don't have surprise. They aren't going to talk to us. So I'm going to give us again the old 50-50 on run away or fight. So 1 to 3 is run away, 4 to 6 is fight. Hey, we're going to run away this time. Uncharacteristic, I feel. 72. You turn to run and the skeleton hits you for 1 more point of damage. Ow. If you're still alive, you run south to a corridor where you can turn east or west. Looking back, you see that the skeletons are not following you. You stop and catch your breath. Read 62. Well, I gotta tabulate the damage, so I got 5. 62. So, you're in an intersection of the corridor to the north and east-west corridor. Do you want to go north, east, or west? Well, let's go west. So that's 14. You go west, and you come to another room. It has an exit south, leading outside, and another corridor heading west. You don't want to go west. The ghouls are in that direction. You recognize this room as the entrance for your very first adventure. Well, that's cool. This is where you hit the goblin, and he ran away. Do you want to go back east or go south? So, somewhere nebulously over here, we have a room that we were in for the first adventure where we started, and there's like a whole, corridor and a door we couldn't get through and some rooms. It's not mapped for us. So, but there's also a way out. And we know that there are skeletons and the rust monster. So that's what the Beware is about. And there's some kind of, well, there's a door here, but who knows we're going to be able to get through that, right? And there may be something else here. I don't know. Clearly, the doors go to somewhere, not just to nowhere. So, I think the prudent thing to do is to go back to town, right? So, we'd read number 3. You go south and leave the caves. You may go home and end this adventure, or you can go back to the first room. Read 2 for further instructions. You are back outside. If you want to go back inside, read number 1. If you want to quit, stop reading here. Your fighter goes back to town. If you killed any monsters or found any treasure, read 88 to find out how many experience points you have earned. If you want to go shopping for supplies, read 89. So we're going to read 88 and finish this adventure. It irks me to leave the other bits behind, but at the same time, if I was running this for a regular dungeon, I'd probably want to go get some pals and come back and take care of those skeletons and the rust monster and maybe check out those other parts of the initial section I couldn't get into, right? And hey, these doors are like, and there's goblins in there, definitely, right? Me and a party, bring a little battering ram, something to go and smash this door through, or a knock spell if we can get a powerful enough wizard. Although this is like a first level thing, so probably not. But, like, maybe this door is like, I have a key. Maybe it's for this door, right? There's more here, and I would come and explore it more with hopefully some backup. Maybe get a hireling. That's an advanced thing. So, 88. When you complete the adventure, you get experience points. First, add up all the treasure you brought out of the dungeon, ignore anything you lost, and figure out how much it is all worth in gold pieces. Explanation of the money system is on page 10. You will get 1 XP for each 1 gold piece worth of treasure you find, in addition to getting the treasure. After adding up the treasure, find out how much experience you get for slaying monsters according to this chart. So giant rats are 5 each, goblins are 5 each. We didn't kill any skeletons or the rust monster. The rust monster is worth 300 XP. Yeah, we'd want to come back and kill that. But it's not happening right now, right? Okay, so treasure we collected that we hauled out of this dungeon. I'll have to deduct the 2 gold pieces I spent on wine and recovery from the total, but it's actually still counts towards the basically, the XP is calculated before I deduct that 2 gold. We took it out of the dungeon. So let's see here. 100 silver pieces becomes 200. 100 copper becomes 200. So that is worth 22 gold pieces. So 170 plus 22 plus this is 60 here, plus this is 15. So, okay, that's 7. Look at me doing old math here. None of that Common Core stuff that the kids all do now. So that's 7 and 7, 14. That's 16, 1, 2, 67. So, all right, got 267 XP for the cash. The goblins, well, we killed 5. 5 times 5 is 25. And the rats, we killed 3. 3 times 5 is 15. So that's going to be another 40 XP. So that's 307 XP. But we get a 10% bonus. Let's see. Do I round up? Add to that total your treasure total to get the total number of experience points awarded for this adventure. To determine your 10% bonus, drop the last number and add it to the total. Okay, well, we're just dropping the 7 then. So that's 30 XP. So that's going to be 337 XP for the adventure. And this is my new treasure total plus what I had of another 170. So functionally, I don't get XP on the money I already had, of course, but my wealth is 437 gold pieces in total. Equivalent value. So we're not broke. Yay. Finish up the treasure. You found the money you already had. So imagine you killed the rust monster and found 6 gems there with a value of 600 gold pieces. Oh. Also killed 3 giant rats, finding 100 copper pieces and 100 silver pieces. Imagine that you have no other notes, right? Looking at the conversion chart, you see that 100 copper pieces equals 1 gold piece. 100 silver pieces equals 10 gold pieces. Adding that to the gem value, your newly found treasure is worth a grand total of 611 gold pieces. For monsters, you get 300 XP for the rust monster, plus 15 XP for the giant rats, 5 each. That's total 315. Adding it to the 611 for the treasure, your total XP award is 926. To find your 10% bonus, drop the 6, so and 92. Add the bonus of 92 to the award of 926 for an adjusted total XP of 1,018. Then you add to that your current total of 523 XP. The new total XP is 1,541, less than 500 XP away from second level. Lastly, you add the actual treasure, 6 gems worth 600 gold pieces, 100 copper pieces, 100 silver pieces to your treasure list. That finishes this adventure. You may go to the next adventure, or you may wish to go shopping. If you wish to buy something now, read 89. And that completes the adventure. And here we have the completed map. So we can see there is a treasure room there. There's a secret door there. There's a corridor leading off that way. This corridor goes off that way. That's the first adventure area. If you had a dungeon master who's starting out, maybe this is an inspiration to expand this dungeon for further adventures. That completes the solo adventures. There are no more solo adventures found in this book, I'm afraid. All the rest of this stuff is on the character classes, spells for the magic user, spells for the cleric, guidance on rolling up your character, all the other concepts we still have involved in this game, like missile weapons, variable weapon damage, the world of D&D gaming. I tell you what, we'll stop here because we're at over a half hour as it is. And in fact, we're run long. It's 38 minutes. Next time, and we'll make a nice break, is we'll go through character classes and just read through this stuff. Okay? Maybe, I don't know. We'll see. If it's reading very dry, maybe I won't read it in word for word. We'll see. But that completes the solo adventures. I understand if that's all you came for. But maybe there'll be more that'll catch your eye. Or ear, as the case may be. I thank you all for coming along with me on this. And I hope you have a great day. Goodbye.